Islam Makhachev's close friend and training partner Josh Thompson recently addressed the speculation about Islam possibly retiring after chasing a second title. But in Thompson's view, the idea of Makhachev walking away immediately after winning a second belt doesn't quite add up. While some fans believe the Dagestani might call it a career if he beats Jack Della Maddalena and becomes a two-division champion, Thompson thinks Islam would likely stick around, at least for one meaningful title defense. One potential opponent? Kamaru Usman. The former welterweight champ has previously shown interest in a clash with Makhachev, and stylistically, it's a fascinating matchup. Both bring elite wrestling, deep championship experience, and the chance to solidify an already remarkable legacy. Another intriguing name on the radar is Shavkat Rakhmonov. The undefeated Kazakh finisher is tearing through the welterweight division and has grown into a massive figure across Central Asia. A bout between Makhachev and Rakhmonov would be a monumental event, not just for MMA fans, but for an entire region that passionately follows both fighters. Whether it's for legacy, competition, or regional pride, one thing's clear. If Islam claims gold at 170, there are still a couple of truly massive fights left on the table before any talk of retirement becomes real.
And I think it'll depend. I also believe that if it's going to be probably like a Shavkat, I think it'll maybe be a Sean Brady. If Sean Brady gets past, who's Sean Brady? Ian Gary is. They're talking that they're scheduled to fight next. Is Sean Brady and Ian Gary? So if he gets past him, yeah, I think if it ends up being like an Ian Gary, I don't know if he'll do it. I think he'll just probably be like, okay, I'm good. You know, I think he wants to fight guys that want to fight, not guys that run around. And so, like, Sean Brady will come forward and bring the fight. Shavkat will come forward and bring the fight. You know, outside of that, I mean, if it's Kamaru Usman, Kamaru said that he would fight Islam. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. But I mean, like, you know, they'll talk about it. They can make a lot of money. That might be a fight to have too. At 34 years old though, like, he understands that the time is coming, you know, and I think that he's somebody that also doesn't want to take a bad loss and be like, all right, look, I'm done. Yeah. Like, he wants to just be able to kind of go out on his terms. And plus, he's only got...
Paddy Pimblett is all about supporting fellow Brits. But when it comes to Jon Jones, even national pride has its limits. With Tom Aspinall gearing up for a potential heavyweight title unification bout against Jones, Paddy was asked to share his thoughts, and his response was honest. Though he's clearly backing Aspinall, Paddy admitted he couldn't confidently bet against Jones. He acknowledged Tom's chances, saying the interim champ has the tools to land something big and pull off a shocker. But for Paddy, it's tough to go against someone as consistently dominant and strategically sharp as Jon Bones Jones. Having grown up watching Jones dismantle elite competition, what stands out most to Pimblett is Jones's unmatched fight IQ and ability to execute near-perfect game plans. As much as he wants to see Aspinall come out on top, Paddy just can't bring himself to pick against the man many still call the greatest of all time. It's a take that might not sit well with patriotic UK fans, but when it comes to all-time greats, even home country favorites sometimes have to take the back seat. And let's be honest, Aspinall may be one of Jones's biggest challenges yet, but Jon has a track record of solving every puzzle thrown his way.
I can't pick it. I love Aspinall, lad, he's my mate and that, but I can never pick against Jon Jones. We've never seen him get beat. I think now if anyone's going to beat him, it is Aspinall. Aspinall could just knock him out and come out with it with his hands and knock him clean out, but I've never picked against Jon Jones. I've been watching Jon Jones since he became champ when I was a kid, you know what I mean? Since I started watching the UFC in like 2009, 2010. I've been watching Jon Jones ever since then, before he won the belt. I can remember watching the fight live when he got disqualified for the 12-6 elbows. That's how long I've been watching Jon Jones. And it's just the way he game plans. He finds a way to beat someone, and he works on that exact thing and how to beat them. But if anyone's going to beat him, it's Aspinall.
Jon Jones has officially landed in Dagestan, and this time, it's not just a publicity stunt. According to several Russian MMA outlets, the former light heavyweight king isn't there for sightseeing. He's reportedly linking up with Islam Makhachev and Khabib Nurmagomedov for some high-level training sessions. Currently, Jones is in Russia filming the local version of The Ultimate Fighter alongside Nate Diaz. But it hasn't all been smooth. Footage has surfaced of Jon appearing intoxicated on camera and getting into an altercation. generating headlines beyond the octagon. Despite the noise, his visit to Dagestan seems to be part of a bigger, more strategic plan. This isn't Jones's first time in the region. He visited years ago, conducting seminars, touring gyms, and mentoring up-and-coming fighters. That earlier trip didn't include Islam or Khabib, but this time around, both champions are reportedly set to host him at their facility. The first to confirm the reunion was Rustam Khabilov, Jones's former Jackson Wink teammate and proud Dagestani native. The same group that sponsored Jones's previous visit is believed to be behind this one as well. And if reports are accurate, we could soon be seeing training footage featuring John Jones, Makhachev, and even Khabib, a dream scenario for hardcore MMA fans. In an interview with Vestnik MMA, Rustam revealed, "Jones is already flying over here. We've talked about this for a long time, about him returning to train with the boys. The time has come." When asked if Khabib and Islam would be involved, the answer was simple. Of course, everybody will be here. Meanwhile, back in the UFC spotlight, Paddy Pimblett is wasting no time planning his route to UFC Gold. Fresh off a statement TKO win over Michael Chandler, the Liverpool native has his sights set high, and his next move could shake up the lightweight division. Top of his wish list, Justin Gaethje. Pimblett is pushing hard for that matchup next, believing it would be the kind of gritty, all-action war that could test and showcase his true potential. But he's not stopping there. Paddy also has his eye on Ilia Topuria and the lightweight strap, an explosive matchup that would pit two surging European stars against each other with everything on the line. And let's not forget Arman Tsarukyan, another name in the mix. The two have exchanged words in the past, and Paddy made it clear he's more than ready to settle that score inside the octagon. A potential showdown with Topuria would be fireworks. Ilia's clinical striking and pressure game versus Paddy's unpredictable scrambles and submission threats. Add in their contrasting personalities and the European fanfare, it's a blockbuster in the making. But don't sleep on a clash with Gaethje either. Justin's violent striking and leg kicks against Paddy's unorthodox grappling and relentless pace. That has Fight of the Year written all over it. Whether it's Ilia, Justin, or Arman, one thing's for sure. Paddy Pimblett is locked in, surging fast and closer than ever to a title shot.
He said he would fight Justin Gaethje, and then he would fight Ilia Topuria. Now, Ilia Topuria versus Paddy is one of the truest grudges that we have in our sport right now. And some of you might not have known about it, and the rest of you might have forgot about it. But that B-roll and footage exists. Every bit as much as Masvidal and Leon exists, Ilia and Paddy exists. Okay, great. But how do we get there? And one thing that Paddy said about his career, he said, "I'll fight Gaethje and then I'll go and I'll deal with Charles." Was it? But he had a different idea. If Ilia won, if Ilia wins and that's the big grudge match, move Gaethje out of the side. He's ready for the title right now. Paddy called for a fight against an Armenian helmet. The Armenian helmet has said, "I will fight you." Paddy has now come up with a different plan that doesn't involve him. I'm just laying.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, hit that like button and consider subscribing so you don't miss what's next.